began with a heart attack. One ordinary woman, one extraordinary decision to show up and be present. She took a CPR class because her new boss told her to. Days later, it saved a complete stranger's life. One life that almost ended too soon. This diary is exactly why every person should know how to perform CPR and why one day it could matter more than you imagine. If someone collapsed right in front of you right now, would you even know what to do? He had left home that morning expecting a normal day. Minutes later, strangers were fighting to keep him alive. One woman did, and that's why this diary has a happy ending. What happened next is a powerful reminder that one skill learned in an ordinary moment can become the reason someone gets a second chance at life. Our title today, the CPR class she almost skipped, saved his life. Welcome to Dream Builders Diaries, building dreams one story at a time. I'm Jeannie Kraft, and here at Dream Builders Diaries, we dive deep into the personal stories of entrepreneurs, artists, innovators, and everyday visionaries just like you. We believe that every dream starts with a story worth telling. And by sharing these stories, we aim to empower you to create your own dream and the story behind it. But before we get started, grab a paper and a pencil if you don't already have one. Inspiration, ideas, and dreams come and go very quickly. Jot yours down and don't let yours get away. The man's heart stopped beating. One lesson, one stranger, one heartbeat that nearly disappeared forever. What happened next is a lesson for us all. The tube is on strike. I dawdled to Paddington Station on Friday, passing the old wrought iron sign for Pizza Express, and I was reminded of an event 30 plus years ago when I got caught up in a drama that resulted in a divorce, 2 marriages, and many changed lives. It began with a heart attack. Like Friday, I was ambling along Marylebone Road. Coming towards me are 2 guys, one a bit older than the other, very nicely dressed. Their laughter filled the cracks in the bricks, and the backs of their hands brushed occasionally as they walked closely side by side. The afternoon had just begun. I would guess it was around 1:30 or so. I assumed they had just had lunch or were on their way to a lovely cafe to have a little bite to eat. Suddenly, the older man stops in the middle of the pavement and clutches his upper arm. He drops to the ground in a pile of nice suit and starched shirt and nice leather shoes. The other guy shrieks. The look of fright on his face was genuine and terrible. He yelled for help. I looked around. There were only 5 of us on the street, 3 of which were hurrying away. I had just completed a CPR and first aid course because of my new job, and I was not intrigued at going to it first, but I had to. Also, once I got there, there was a woman who had told a story similar to the one that was unfolding right before my eyes there on the street. I remembered everything, and somehow in order. First, protect the patient from the elements. I threw my jacket on the ground, and kneeling down, I fished out that mouth guard thingy I'd been given only a couple of days before from the side pocket of my satchel. So glad I had my new satchel with that easy access pocket, and out fell my best cloth hanky too. The other guy picked it up. I started performing CPR, and as I started the first round of compressions, I tell his friend to call an ambulance for him. He is in shock. He just stands there. I keep going with the heart attack guy. His name's Tom, by the way, and his friend Tim, who was hugging my hanky to his mouth, wails at our side. Another passerby has already called. She is on the phone describing exactly where we are in excellent detail, I might add. In the distance, I think I hear sirens, but it might just be my own heart beating faster than ideal. The woman who called the ambulance has a friend. She and the other bystanders start to comfort him, and I realize a crowd is gathering. They were moving him away enough so I could work more efficiently. The crowd seemed to continue to gather just to watch. Tim is a much bigger guy than the CPR dummy we practiced on, so I just keep going. I was so grateful someone had definitely called an ambulance. Feels like 6 years, but it was really only about 10 minutes, and a paramedic nudges me aside. He is much bigger and stronger than I am, and again I am grateful. Good job, he says. I stay seated on the pavers for a few months, just like we were taught. I don't want to get up feeling lightheaded myself. Then, when I struggle to get to my feet, Tim raced from the comforting clutch of the bystanders and raced to my side. Tears were streaming down his face. He was blubbering something as he helped me up, and he and I clung to each other as we waited to see what was coming next. Another ambulance arrived, and three of the most handsome, fit men I have ever seen swiftly opened the back doors and lifted the stretcher out of the back of the second ambulance. Within seconds, Good Job Jeff hands me my coat off the ground after shaking it thoroughly. As Tom was being loaded into the back of the ambulance, Good Job Jeff tells us which hospital they're going to go to. Tim and I are left at the side of the road as the ambulance disappears in a hail of lights and sirens and exhaust from the engine. The looky-loos start to disperse, making comments about how dead Tom looked with the O2 mask strapped tightly to his face. I asked him if he has a way to get to the hospital, and he says yes. I ask him if he wants me to come to the hospital. Better not, he says. I'll need to call his wife. Maybe Tim isn't the lover I thought him to be. He's Tom's assistant at a fancy merchant bank. Oh, I say, as he turns to go. And I ask, may I have your number, please? Yes, he replies, and quickly dials my number as I dictate it to him. As we swap numbers, I say, I want to know how Tom is doing, and because, well, Tim's been snotting up my best cloth hanky, which I'd forgotten he'd picked up. I would also like him to return that. We paused then, on the corner of the street, all kinds of crossroads. I'll see you, said Tim, his face trailing into my hanky. Oh, sure, maybe, I tell him. Maybe both of you. I turned away, neither of us checking in on what exactly that could mean. 3 weeks later, there's a text asking for my address. Then a couple of days later, my hanky arrived in the post. Washed and pressed, a little note was inside. It read, he's okay. I told him we'll have to see you soon. Thank you, XXT. All right, I think. We'll see. A month later, I get another letter in the post. This is Sheila, Tom's wife, and boy, is she pissed. Legitimately so, I guess. She got my address from Biff, who got it from Tom, who got it from Tim, who, if you remember, got it from me. Wait, you say, who the hell is Biff? He was the best man at Sheila and Tom's wedding back in the day. I find out that 3 weeks later, after the fury of all these posts went back and forth each way. So Tim has told Tom he loves him. Tom has told Sheila she might love Tim. Sorry and all. Sheila has cried and bellowed to anyone who will listen. And now Biff has written to me. He loves Sheila. Wow. Do I think he should tell her? I ask him if there's a reason why he shouldn't. No answer. I wait and I wait. Roll forward a whole year. Apart from a Christmas card and a bunch of birthday flowers and a postcard from a tropical paradise, it's all gone quiet. I think of no more of it except when I walk down to Maliborn Road or blow my nose. Then, out of the blue, a wedding invite turns up. Sheila and Biff. Wow, huh? The wedding is fancy. I buy a brand new hat. Dark blue velvet, thanks for asking. It matches my best blue dress and shoes. Tim and Tom gave Sheila away and paid for the champagne and the flowers. Though that's a better surprise than the last one they gave her. Biff says, then he says, hey, best man finally got the bride. Roll it forward another few years when equal marriage comes in, and there's another invite on my mantelpiece. Tim and Tom. It's a glorious day, sunshine and everything. So rare here in England. I wear the same hat, but I've got new shoes and a slightly smaller sized dress, mind you. Biff and Sheila fund the drunks and the flowers, and a gay man's chorus turns up and sings beautifully. More years pass. The hanky is getting tattered, so I stick it in a clip frame on the wall. Occasional postcards still turn up from both sets of lovebirds from all over the world. and then there's a lull. I still think of them, though, when I walk past that wrought iron sign once or twice a year, or if someone asks about the hanky in the frame. A while later, there's a black-edged card in the mail. Tom's heart finally did him in. Tim says, "We got almost 30 years because you learned CPR at a first aid work course that your boss made you do. Thanks, Elle," he writes, "for saving all of our lives." A man's heart stopped beating, one lesson, one stranger, one heartbeat that nearly disappeared forever. A heart attack, a stranger, and a life-saving skill. Neither of them expected to meet that day, but fate had other plans. What happens next is a lesson for us all. So, to recap, what is your biggest takeaway from our diary today? And what is this diary? How does this diary relate to how you see all of the things that you will bring your dream to life? Why this diary? Because this diary demonstrates the magic and secrets of being present, listening, learning, and remembering what you are taught in the right sequence. I also share this diary because this powerful diary celebrates the virtues of endurance and stepping up and taking action. Sometimes the smallest preparation leads to the biggest miracle. This is one of those stories. Dreamers, believe in yourselves, be passionate, work smart, know your why, and apply what you learn each day. Enjoy life and always be kind. I'm going to leave you with a quotation. The price of anything is the amount of life you are willing to exchange for it. That's by Henry David Thoreau. The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. Henry David Thoreau. Special thanks. Thanks to you, Elle, and Tom and Tim and all the rest. Your diligence made it possible for all of us to understand why it's so important to learn how to perform CPR, and just not in a mandatory class. Thanks for stopping to notice the needs of those around you. And a special thanks to those of you who listen to Dream Builders Diaries regularly. I am grateful to you. The honor to spend time with you is all mine. Check out the other diaries in the All About Me playlist. If you don't have it yet, get your 90-Day Dream Builder's Diary by Jeannie Craft on Amazon. Like and share this diary and subscribe for more. Contact us to share your story. Thank you, and until next time, building dreams one story at a time.